just raps, man. Turn me up, man. It's just raps. You know what I'm saying? I just want to rap, you know? I just want to rap, man. I just want to rap.
Fate was on my side.
Yeah.
Was my fate was on my side.
Man. Yeah.
They say without the proper labor, faith don't stand a chance. I put my faith in faith and stand on fertile land. I planted seeds that'll indeed turn into trees. Be for rest in peace, teas get printed to me.
I'm more so like, I feel like it's a better thing. Like we want to have a certain chemistry. Like for me and you being familiar for months now. You know what I'm saying? We done been in a lot of the same rooms together. We've been setting this up for a little minute. So it's like, I want it to be people that's familiar with what I do, and I'm familiar with what you do. So like when we come in the room, it's just easy work. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times it's like that forced promo. It look a little forced.
Yeah, that's why you and Chance shit felt so. It's clearly promo because the album's dropping, but it didn't feel like that whatsoever. You could tell. I mean, me following you on social, like you going to listen to party in Chicago, like you had a insight that it made it feel more natural than it was just a promo stop.
He did it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the way it came together was the right way.
100%.
First, we rolling? Yep. I already know we rolling. It's Grits and Eggs. We don't know what episode 80 something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling when it's gonna drop out. We were interviewing Young Dro on Tuesday.
Oh, come on, West Side.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The one wrong. You know what I'm saying? But right now we got the councilman.
Hey.
You know, in the running, the councilman, Stephen Dingle, councilman, Southwest Atlanta, District 11, correct?
District 11, that's right.
So tell us about like what your journey into politics has been. You know what I'm saying? I know it hasn't always been political, but I know, like you said earlier, the council members is like a nonpartisan type situation. So just kind of give us a little bit more of your background, where you from, and how you find yourself in this seat today.
Yeah, man. I'm Stephen Dingle. Like you said, a candidate for Atlanta City Council District 11. Most people know me for my music business background. So I've been a music executive for the past 13 years, managing talent, A&R, helped started with QC, ended up working with United Masters for a couple years, A&R. But most people know me from the OG Macko days. So, you know, started with him, the Edgewood scene, all of that. That's my big, where I made my footprint and stuff like that. Worked with Collision at QC, OG Parker, Romano, another producer, Heavy and the Chevy. So, yeah, just managing talent from songwriters, artists, producers, etc. But I always knew politics was going to be my pivot. Whenever I was done with music, which I expected or predicted it to be when I was 40, I'm 35 now. But my current council member, Marcy Coley Overstreet, she's going for city council president. So when I heard that announcement, it was just like, there's really no need to wait. So I decided to jump in now. I want to get my Grammy. We've been Grammy nominated. Yeah. That was real. I was like, I can get a Grammy by the time I'm 40. But it just, like I said, I think it's just destiny that it lined up this way. So I decided to jump on in at 35. So
I think in the political climate too, especially with it just in the city of Atlanta, in preparation for the World Cup, we're going to see a lot more gentrification. We're going to see a lot more like historical districts being sold off. I would say in my experience, something that I see that I dislike about Atlanta, other than other cities, is like they don't preserve the old culture. A lot of times they just paint over it. You know what I'm saying? But you trying to preserve the culture of Southwest Atlanta. Tell me why like that's important to you, for one, on a personal level, but for two, like, is that where you grew up? Is that the district that you grew up in, and that's why you made the decision to go run in that district?
Yeah, for sure. So I was born right up the street at East Point. So around that corner, Washington Road and Camp Creek, like my neighborhood, Washington Manor, that's where I was born. Parents decided to just move on down to Henry County. My dad worked for Bronner Brothers. So there, if you look on MLK right now next to the Chick-fil-A, you'll still see the BB sign. And everybody knows the Bronner Brothers Hair Show was thrown twice a year, February and August in Atlanta, at the Georgia World Congress Center. So, and my mom was a school teacher. But moving down to Henry County, so I went to Henry County Middle, Henry County High School, but they divorced when I was 13. My dad moved back. I say back because East Point and the SWATs are X apart. He moved right by Greenbrier when they divorced. So I've been back and forth between my whole life. And then when I went to Clark Atlanta in 2008, I moved in that same apartment complex. I didn't live on campus because I had a child young. So I just moved in that apartment complex, and I've been in the SWATs firmly since 2008, but back and forth since 2003.
Right.
So it's the side of Atlanta that I know the most. I always claim I'm from McDonough, Georgia, Henry County, and I'm from Southwest Atlanta. Those are the only two places that get credit for making Steve-O.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So yeah, that upbringing definitely made me want like care and want to preserve and do all the things right and do Southwest Atlanta justice for sure.
For sure, yeah. I think so even though you're in the music industry, why did you always know like politics would be your pivot? Were you always just kind of like politically savvy, or is it something that was like in your family, or it's just something you seen going on around you that you always had an interest in doing?
Yeah, it wasn't politically savvy. It was, my family's always been of service. Like I said, my mom's a school teacher. Dad worked for the biggest black haircut company in the world. So like I always had that. I always tell people I had that purview of like, I know what it's like to be from Atlanta. And then when they say when you get out of Atlanta, you're in Georgia. I got that view too. But with that view being in Henry County, going with my dad to work, my sister attended Clark Atlanta before I did. Like seeing just how special Atlanta was. When I went back to Henry County, I would just always be like, can't wait to go back. Like Atlanta is like the land of opportunity. Everybody's black. You could be anything. Plus my uncle was an attorney and he was the municipal clerk for Atlanta for 20, 30 years through Maynard and Andrew Young and Bill Campbell and everybody. So the Atlanta City Council committee room is actually named after him. So my name's already in City Hall by proxy. But and like just of service, his son is a detective for APD. My sister is a dispatcher for Atlanta, Atlanta's dispatch. So like even with me in the music business, being a manager, you are of service.
Right,
you put
right,
their
right.
lives before. I had a child young. Like I'm traveling the world. My daughter at home. Luckily, I never missed any big moments, but like that's what you're sacrificing.
Right.
So for me, I've always just been of service. But like I said, politics to me was just the next thing where I truly want to serve my community in a way to where like I haven't seen, or the way I've seen of old. When people invoke Maynard or Andrew Young or Marvin Arrington or my uncle Larry Dingle, like I want to bring back that approach of really preserving and looking out, especially for black folks.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough where District 11 is 96% black. So I'm working for us by
for
default.
sure. Right.
So that's what made me really want to do this.
Yeah, I resonate with it. I think one of the bigger things that made me want to pull you in here, like, of course, just kind of expanding my guest list past just like music, comedian, or actor, because these are things that like the podcast is about the black community, and politics is a part of the black community. Being black is political all within itself. You know what I'm saying? So, my grandmother is was as soon as she retired from education, so she was one of the first black teachers, women teachers in Gaston, Alabama.
Wow.
Worked at like the whitest school in the county. Experienced a lot of racism dealing with students and parents and at the administrative level, but had somebody like in the administration that really was like rocking with her and like really wanted to see her win, to the point where she became the principal at the elementary school, literally like right up the street from her.
Oh, that's amazing.
So my wife went to this school. Like, so when I be like, a lot of times, like both of my maternal and paternal grandparents are dead, but my wife's grandmother, I mean, we've been together since I was 19. So, that's my grandma.
Yeah,
you know
right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 35
You'll offend
now.
her if you don't say that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, she go around telling everybody this is my grandson.
Yeah.
But this been since when we had our second kid, and then I proposed and everything like that. It was like that was the thing that was just like this the glue. You know what I'm saying? So aside from her being a principal, she was a principal over all her grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? So it was like very tight knit communal thing. After she retired, she went on to serve on the city council.
Oh man!
And then she
In
made
Gaston.
it up, in Gaston, and then she made it up as city council president. So I've seen the power of city council members of preserving their neighborhoods, whether that be and adding to, because she actually put across a bill that got passed that put in a community center in the neighborhood, which give the kids stuff to do when they get out of school, because it's a pretty dense neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not like the side that they stay on, the east side, is not like projects. It's more like housing, you know what I'm saying? But everybody live in like a 10, 15 block radius of each other. So to put a community center right there in the middle of it, that gave the kids something to do immediately after school and something that was walkable for them. So she's retired from politics now, but the conversations we have is always like surrounding like, she be like, man, them people up there, they don't know what they doing. When I was in there,
she know firsthand
when I
too.
was in there, you know what I'm saying? So, and she caught a lot of flack from the black community then too, because she didn't want to tear down this statue of Emma Sampson. So you remember when everybody was like on that tear about tearing down Confederate statues?
Yep.
Emma Sampson was like a little girl that used a lantern to help guide Confederate soldiers through Gaston, things like that. She was like, damn the statue. Let's get the community center put up.
Right.
And like that actually improves our community. Like this statue ain't nothing but a symbolic victory.
Yeah.
And they turned on her And then when the community center, they re-engaged. But after that happened, she was like, I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? So I think you seeing you running for city council, but also see you outside. You know what I'm saying? You be in the same spots I be in. Now, I know that has something to do with your music industry ties, but it's also good because you understand the people and you amongst the people. And I think that's important to be reflected in politics, especially local politics.
Yeah, and that's even outside of music. Like, that's who I am in general. And that's kind of like why I've been successful in music, is because when I started managing talent, I just reached out to my friends. Like, my first artist I worked with, Milo Smith, she took a chance on me. I never managed anybody before, but I just reached into my Rolodex of the relationships I had of being from here, college, etc. And just like, hey, I know people who throw shows. I got an artist, want to put her on? Like, that's just me in general. And when I'm out and I'm talking to people at the Metro event, or I was just at that video shoot, or his event, and the Nike event that we met each other at, when I tell people I'm running for city council, or they like, man, Steve, I don't even know who my city council person is. I never met them. I don't know what they look like. I'm like, that's not your fault. They should be at these places, like, because we got a thing called super voters. So everybody knows what super voters, people who voted in elections for the past 6-8 years. And people just try to hunker down on them or older crowd, because those are people who are guaranteed you're going to vote. And there's a strategy in that. But I'm very clear that I'm here to represent all the people of District 11. So all the people, including the 18-year-olds, the people who go to block parties, the people. I was just at a block party on Camden Road the other day, but I'm gonna go to church tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna go I represent all people, so I can't be concerned with if I think you're gonna vote or not. You deserve to know every candidate, but it's my job. I can control myself. I'm going to make sure I get in front of as much people as possible, no matter their background, their class, what they like to do for fun. So I really want to be everywhere. So that's just, to me in general. I would, if I wasn't running, I'd be in these exact same spots.
Right. I think it make a lot of sense though, because there's not a lot of emphasis, district hall stuff. Whenever they have like town hall meetings or just meetings in general, a lot of it is retired people that attend those events.
I'm the youngest person there. I'm 35 and I'm the youngest person in the building.
Right.
We got MPU meetings. The police just had a town hall at the local Ben Hill United Methodist. I'm the youngest person there at 35. So when I talk about the youth getting involved, I don't mean just college age, high school seniors. I'm talking 40 and below when I say youth.
Right. Yeah, because I think it's important because, for one, the things that happen are going to impact the younger people the most because they're going to grow up in it, right? I think a lot of times we see in politics is like the interest of people who've already lived their life.
Yeah.
So I don't think their interest is paramount, to be honest. I've publicly stated several times I even think there should be age limits as far as like who runs for what. And that's theoretical and way down the road, especially now where we at in the political climate. But I think that the young people need to see themselves represented in politics. But not only that, but to be aware of like what things are happening in their neighborhood, why, who is it going to affect, how, when, you know what I mean? All these things, because we got people out here who don't know, like, it's your city council person that you can call on to make sure your roads get paved the right way.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? But when you're not represented and you don't even know who the person is, like most people don't, you can't get those things done.
Right.
And so a lot of times it's older people trying to get it done. And oftentimes they're the minority in those spaces because it's only so many people that's going to be there that have time or can make time to be there or know when it is or when it's being held. So I think what you're doing is phenomenal because when you told me you was running for city council, I was like, what? Yeah. But that's hard though, because that's a true representation of like the city and like the people your age. Like we both 35. So we done seen this city evolve so much over time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
In our short time, in 35 years, we've seen it flip.
Yeah. Because in 2004, this ain't the same thing.
At all.
You ain't talking about the same thing. Let's talk about your music background. You know, I'm a music guy. I love that. I was big on Mako. Like that was my guy.
Yeah. RP, man.
So I was a beer and tacos, 2-9 OG Mako, Trinidad James type person.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
all my guys.
What was your experience like in the music industry and like how did you what'd you go to Clark for?
I switched majors 3 times. I ended at sociology.
Okay.
I started with business, but did 1 year B school, but then sociology.
Yeah. So how did you end up in just making a maneuver? I know you said Milo Smith, but like, what was that turning point for you where you was like, I could make a career out of this?
Yeah, it was my last year there, so 2012, and because I managed her in October 2011, and then that March we went to South by Southwest, so we missed A3C. but she had like 7 shows at South by. So I was like, I might be pretty good at this managing thing. The fact that I got an artist this many shows at South by, and this is South by Fader Ford. This is when South by is popping.
Right.
Like the was it the Ilmore House? Like I know everybody remembers 2014 when Kendrick broke the floor in, but like we were leading up to that. Like South by was popping. So a lot of relationships I got in the music industry. Like my guy Double, I always shout him out. At RCA, he was like an intern then. Now he's the vice president of A&R at RCA. So we think of Lotto, Childish Gambino. That's him. So back then, he's trying to make a name for himself. I met Jeff Vaughn out there. Just a lot of executives that like are doing their thing. Like they were just I'm not gonna call them little dog, but they were just starting out or just making a name for themselves. So she didn't end up getting signed, but that was enough to tell me like we're on the trajectory. And although like I said, she didn't end up getting signed, like she was making waves. Like everybody you just named, we got a song with 2-9, Trinidad, whoever you could think of. I actually met Isaiah Rashad through her because the first project she put out, Sweet 404, she did on her own. That's how I found her. And one of the producer, Chris Kaler, was Isaiah Rashad's main producer. And we ended up getting cool with him. But from that, she went to Georgia State. I got Mako a year or two later.
Yeah.
So that transit. So like, I'm saying when I had Milo, we were on the trajectory. I was like, I'm good. Let's go. I ain't graduate from Clark, but I went all. When people ask me what class I am, I never lie and say I graduated. I just say class of 12 because I was there all 4 years.
That was it.
But it's just that the music took off. I was like, I'm good. But I mean, we didn't even make no crazy money. My dad was pissed. He was like, bro, you a father? You just gonna quit? You ain't making no money like that. But I was like, just trust me. So yeah, getting Milo, grinding out with her, then getting the Mako, signing QC, and that really was like, that's why a lot of people still know me for Mako. I be seeing people I ain't seen in 2 years or something, and they're looking, look what I got you saved as. It still says OG Mako manager. So, yeah, man. So that was the start of the music stuff.
Yeah, his decline was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like I remember I was at it wasn't Beer and Tacos, it was something else. It was something in Cobb County.
I don't think I ever went, but
it was like a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, it was Mexican too, but I don't think I ever went, but I know what you're talking about.
But he had performed at that I think it was 12 bricks, something like that. That 10 bricks.
Oh, Mako performed here in Cobb. Where were we going, Cobb? Dog. And then performing 12 bricks, we really ever performed.
Bro, listen, dog. I think it was like one of the first times he ever did it. It was like, bro, it wasn't even a whole bunch of people in there, bro.
Yeah.
It was like 30 people in there. And so didn't nobody, and then when
Mako was wild. He would go do something without me sometimes.
Yeah, so but this is the thing. I like this is the thing. It wasn't even like a formal like show type vibe. It was an open mic. I used to go to open mics because I used to rap and stuff too. Mm-hmm. And then Brett just came in there and he did the You Guessed It. Everybody was like turned because they know this song. Right. And then he did the 12 bricks. I was like, oh, this nigga hard. And I went immediately and tapped in with him and like learned all this shit because I was a big fan of Key. So I found out he had music with Key. And then it was like on from there. And it's like, this is the same thing I would be telling B Right. Like, bro, I was in like all them rooms you talk about where y'all was performing, I was in them rooms too. Mm-hmm. It just like 6 degrees of separation.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? To see where we at with it now is it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. Look, I can't tell my story without shouting out Greenmount Park too. Because that was like the it blog in Atlanta. I know that was during the blog era. And I'm glad my team, Corey Aware, RP to Corey Davis, and City of Ink, because Corey was a tattoo artist at City of Ink. So Maya Bailey, that was really my foundation. My homegirl even put me on Milo. We were sitting in City of Ink, and she was like, you need to check out this artist. So Greenmount Park, that's really my start. That's how I went around the shows saying, hey, I can post your music. That's how I met 2-9, met Forte Boy, met Trinidad.
That's hard.
So that's why you look at all my social media, Greenmount Park is there because I wouldn't be anywhere without them folks.
That's
so,
hard,
I always
bro.
gotta shout out them.
I actually went to Maya's, I think it was volume 3 of his Before I'm Gone series. I went to that that was 2 weeks ago, I think. Like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I had caught a little piece, you know what I'm saying? So when I get my, support artists. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Support artists. Yeah, because that thing might be worth $40,000 one day. You know what I'm saying?
I got me a couple Paper Franks. I got a Corey Davis. Got Tukey tats, Paper Frank tats. So I know how it goes.
Hey, you exclusive with the Paper Frank tat because he done put that gun down.
Okay.
And you still owe me a tattoo, man.
Man, I got, this tattoo right here, we was at Art Basel, 5 o'clock in the morning, just like, being irresponsible. I ain't gonna say that. But he was just like, you want a tattoo? I was like, all right. 5 o'clock in the morning, just in Miami, Art Basel. Young guys just living life.
Yeah.
That's my guy, Paper Frank, man.
How is this pivot been for you as far as like, there's always pros and cons to everything. What are some of the pros and cons of like getting involved in politics?
I'll just start with the cons. The cons is just I'm already experiencing kind of the shadiness of it. Like, I mean, music got its shadiness, of course, but like when people just like whatever you need, like hit me up. And, you know, I gotta raise money. So, you know, when they say that, and I'm not saying people gotta send me money. That's not what I'm saying. But like, it's a couple people who have said that to me, and then they supporting an opponent. I'm just like, all you had to do was say, bro, I'm proud of you. And like, I don't know why you added that. Like, oh yeah, whatever you need, bro, let's work. Yeah, I want to make sure you good. And just like, now it made me think you were like, not just an opponent, like you might be trying to get some intel to go tell somebody else. I'm just like, why did you do that? Like, I don't understand. But I don't have too many complaints about it because like I said, I'm gonna be me regardless. I guess I don't try a con besides that. I really ain't got too many complaints.
This is your first campaign.
This is my first campaign.
Right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the con would be, like I said, fundraising is the toughest part, just to be frank. That's one thing I underestimated getting in. Like, seeing campaigns across the city, I'm understanding what all the money is for because, you know, being me, I'm just like, I'm going to be everywhere. And that's cool. Like, if I ain't got whatever somebody else got, cool. I think I'm enough. I think I'm the best candidate. But that's just something I underestimated. But the pros is definitely the details you pay attention to and the stuff you learn along the way. Like when you're out canvassing and knocking on doors, you're walking places you never would have walked before. Like I rode MARTA like when I was growing up going to Clark and I had a job in Midtown. Like I took the 83, which is the busiest bus line in the entire city. So I know that, but like literally walking, like you're like, oh, why is this? Okay, this street is cracked right here, or like this street light ain't working. Why is this liquor store across from a school? Like you just start looking at stuff like, so you just realize this when now you're talking to people like yourself, or you're on a panel, you're able to talk about city planning or what your city needs in a more intimate way because you walk the streets more than just getting your whip now, just getting from A to B. It's like I'm walking with intention. I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, what makes this neighborhood so secure? Talking to this HOA, and why does this neighborhood look more than that? Like you start seeing systematic things. You start seeing, because I'm big on government, like the government can work for you, but there's some self-accountability too. And you start seeing like, okay, this is what a strong community looks like because they get out every Saturday and pick up trash in their own neighborhood. Right. Well, and so like you see some communities don't. But then so you see how some communities may be dilapidated, that's not their doing, versus a community that doesn't care. Like you actually, like I said, walking and talking, you start seeing the differences of like what's systemic and what's self-accountability. And that's something you might not have never known if you just, like I said, if you're just trying to go to work, you know, doing your own thing, you're not necessarily paying attention. So that's definitely a pro, is how intimate you get with the community, for sure.
That's hard, because I think a big part of this life, like this rat race that we be on, especially like in Atlanta, when everything is about planning for traffic. You know what I mean? You become, if it's just go to work and go home, you get in a bubble. You know what I'm saying? So you probably got people that been living in the same neighborhood 5-10 years and ain't never seen the whole neighborhood.
Ain't even seen that neighbor.
Yeah.
The times we living in now.
You
that ain't how we grew up.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. And like kids don't. My kids, I kind of forced them to go outside. Like, but luckily we got to live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of kids. So when they be outside, they be like 15, 20 deep. Man. I know, and it's like we live by this lake. The lake got a creek runoff, so it's like running water. They be jumping in the creek, everything.
Man, that's rare.
Yeah, they be having the ball, bro. They be having the ball, man.
I don't see no kids in my neighborhood. Get off the bus. Yeah, but you ain't gonna catch them.
They go right to the crib.
Right to the crib.
Yeah. So how would you do you, even if it's not your necessary responsibility to change things like that, do you think that there's certain initiatives that you could take to have people just do something as simple as picking the trash up in the neighborhood?
Yeah, for sure. Outside the legislative power you have, creating ordinances and stuff like that, the influence that now comes with that position. And that's what I'm hoping to do. Like when I post on social media or I talk to people, you have to find a fine line between like, you have these ideas and some people would just be like, well, why can't you do it now? And it's like, I don't have the power right now, but it's different when I'm a candidate walking in the room versus now, like when I go to schools. Like I just went to every school in the district, elementary, middle, and high school. And like, you know, you can't campaign at a school, but I just went in there to introduce myself, say, hey, I'm just one of the candidates for District 11. Here's my number. If you have anything I need to know, just let me know. Whatever. But like, if I'm the council person, I could be all up and through that school. Like, yeah. I can say there's kind of like the red tape has kind of been lifted because I am the representative of the families and the students who go to the school. So it's things like that where like now I can go in the school. I go to a PTO meeting. and like sit in there and talk to parents and talk about, hey, I have this program that's going to, I'm talking at City Hall. We try to get this initiative. Your kid after school, they can come here. Like, it's more power that comes with the position. So that's what I'm having conversations with families about, is saying that, hey, I know I can't do it right now, but once I'm elected, these are things that we can work and collaborate together on to fix that, not fix it, but to get our kids more active,
right,
to build more community amongst ourselves and stuff like that. So that's what, I tell people, once I'm elected, I know I'm talking it now, but I'm definitely planning to walk it once I'm elected.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, and that's outside of legislation. That's just
real though,
initiative.
because I don't remember no time in school where I seen a city council person, a politician, nothing. I didn't see them.
Nope.
So like, we didn't even know. Like, to my knowledge, I was well out of high school before I even found out like what a city council person was and things like that. I think it was my first voting cycle. Where I was like, damn, I don't even know who these people are.
Yep.
So you just got to pick. You know what I'm saying? You just hit random selection. I was just going Democrat, Republican. Like, where's Obama, man?
Right, that's it. That's
you
it.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where's Barack? You feel me?
Boy.
That was because that was my first. That's the first ballot I went on.
Same age.
We the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When your birthday?
December 17th.
Yeah. So we was. You graduate 08 high school.
Yeah, I graduated 08.
Yeah. Same
Yep.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Because I'm a July baby. So
okay. Yeah.
I was always like 17 when I graduated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody else turning 18. They thought they was so grown. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I was 18. Yeah. I was in college. I'm saying because I turned 18 in high school, college that fall. So I was saying, I was 18. I turned 19 right after the election.
And you had your first kid? How old?
I was 18 when I had her.
Yeah. I had my first one at 20. So we
Thank God for family. I just want to say that.
Shout out to the village.
Yeah,
man.
my family and the mother of my child's family. Thank y'all.
Yeah, shout out to the village, man.
Y'all, for sure. Couldn't do it without y'all.
Yeah,
sure.
man. I was interested to see like how we could do little certain things in Douglasville. But I felt like it would be like, okay, I know Steve-O, so let me go holler at him and see what he doing, and that'll give me some incentive to get more familiar with the city council people around me.
For sure.
Because I like, honestly, one of the things that piqued my interest the most about you is like, I feel represented by you. Because it's like, I feel like you one of my folks. Like, it's like, this could be my cousin, bro, that's doing the same thing. And you carry yourself as such, but as much as you are like extremely professional, you don't kick the politic game. It's not like you ain't just grinning and waving. It's like you be outside with people. And I think that that's important because for kids to know like, okay, this is my city councilman, this is my representative, that actually kind of gets them online with politics and like helps them figure out what's going on in their neighborhood and things like that from a position that they might not have known before.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't know anything political in high school.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get into it even after the Obama thing. I didn't. That second term, I was 22. That's when I started really kind of diving into like, because I'm paying rent now and I'm going to work every day. Yep. I had my second child right in. It's like, I was like, I want to get more involved in this shit. I want to learn more about it. Because my granny used to go all the time to like city council meetings, everything. Yeah. That was like church for her. Like, she figured out what's going on in her neighborhood. And then church is like a big place for like politics too.
Of course.
Because during campaigns, we went to a big church off Sylvan Road. So during like anytime that district was up for election, you see them like parading folks out. Sometimes the mayor come through there, you know, because they got good relationship with the pastor and stuff like that.
Yep.
But that's a strong voter base.
I do it. I'm saying every Sunday you got to hit one or two.
It's a strong voter base though. You know what I'm saying too, because those are the people that's going to be attending those.
Those are super voters.
Super voters, right? Correct.
For sure.
How do you balance out all of these things, like being a father, being a husband? You know, the campaigning time is very tedious and demanding. Is it like something where everybody on board, or is it just like what's the like feeling in the house like? Because if you win, when you win, it's gonna be a lot more demanding too.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that something that you like have prepared the family for?
I think my career before is like got everybody prepared because like it's just as demanding. So they're used to at least I'm here. Like music, I'm traveling. I've been to 18 different countries. I've been to 40 different states. Like, so they are familiar with what it looks like to be busy. So that side of things hasn't been that much of a transition for the family. If anything, with politics, well, I guess music was the same. My 2-year-old, like, my wife, like, she's holding it down with him. Like, if we didn't have the 2-year-old, like, she and the kids would probably be more visible with me. So I know some people probably wonder, like, he's married with a family. Why we don't never see him? That 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go to church and him, because, when you visit churches, you sit in the front row. I can't have him jumping up, running to the pulpit and all. So she just holds it down with our child, my mom and our families. So it's really a 2-year-old. We got to, I don't want to put all the blame on him, but you would see a lot more of our family
demanding.
if we didn't have a young child.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing, because they would love to be more a part of it. My 10-year-old son and then my senior, my 17-year-old, she's working. Like, she's getting her senior year. She got a job. So it just, like, you don't see everybody together. But, like, to answer your question, everybody's comfortable because it was my life before. Moving around a lot was already my life. So for them, it's not really that big of a deal. If anything, it's just them seeing me walk out in a suit every day. They're just like, dang, like, this is all what we used to, but that's really the only difference.
Nah, you be rocking them suits though, my boy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was just telling the crew before we started, I'm like, I thought I was gonna get in politics. I'm like, I'm gonna be me 100%. I'm gonna wear a hat. And I was like, okay, I'm tripping. like I could be me in a suit. It's okay. Yeah. 2 weeks in, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
yeah. But, well, you seen people do it, and you see them not be taking it seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your counterparts are showing up. So it's like you
gotta
gotta
play that's part of the game. That's not that big of a deal. Like, that's just dress for the job you want.
For sure.
Like I said, nobody's asking me to change. Like I said, I still got locks. I still talk how I talk. Like, everything else is still legitimate because I believe in myself and I know what I bring to the table. But dressing the part, you got to dress for the job you want. So that's no big deal. And look, I had them. They be different.
Hey, they was on
deck. Have them. Yeah, they was on deck. So we good to go.
What's one of the things that you miss from, like, I would say, like, early Atlanta versus, like, we in like the final stage of, like, transplanting Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, where you could be talking to anybody and fully expect them not to be from here. Whereas, like, 2007, 2008, that ain't the case. If you was in Atlanta, them people was from there.
Yeah.
What's some of the bigger differences that you've seen in the city?
Yeah, I talk to my friends about this all the time. So how we were just talking about the 2-9 and that scene from Peter Street to Edgewood. So this is this is really my college. This is like, let's just say 08 to 14. You could go outside and find out, like, where or even like Crucial and all that, like, whatever part of Atlanta you want to consider, like Little 5 Points, that part, like, you could, if somebody was visiting, I'm gonna throw another story too, but if somebody was visiting Atlanta, you was like, yo, what's going on? What's hot now? You could go to these places and be like, oh, let me show you this part of town. They doing it. Crucial, they going crazy. Like, have you ever heard of Savage, 21 Savage? He got a show at Crucial, whatever. Or let's go
Kids.
see Rich Kids. Or let's go see the eclectic folks on Edge. Let's go see Mako, McConan, and Key, and Father. Let's go see them. Or Peter Street. This is where the AUC be hanging out, the college kids, and this is where Metro Boomin is at Morehouse right now. Let's do that and all that. Now, I don't know the places, like, outside where, like, especially the youth is, like, creating scenes to where would I go now? If somebody come to Atlanta, hey, yo, where the kids be at? What Atlanta on right now? It's still, like, at 35 years old, we're still the leaders of it. And I, like, that's cool. We accept it, but it should be a 23-year-old, 24-year-old that is, like, leading the way. And I know online is their space. Like, I get it. Like, why I tell you this all the time, why would you want to pack out a 200 cap room where you can get 5,000 people to watch your TikTok? Right. Like, for the kids, it's like, I'd rather do that. And it's a sign of the times, but I really wish we had those culturally significant places that, like, if anybody just visited, you can be like, I'm gonna take you here. And you just know this is a perfect example of Atlanta. When y'all went home that night, you know, like, you rocked that, didn't you? Like, you could sit and cry and be like, yeah, you like that. That's Atlanta. I'm telling you. But the story was like, I remember my guy, he goes out Mr. Ratchet. I forgot what clothing brand he used to work for, but he came down and I was showing him where Stone the Bluff, because it was like a year after it came out. I was like, yeah, we in the Bluff, this on the west side, this where it was at. And Curtis, he was there, like, at the liquor store that he was in the film, and he was just like, he had his hand, he's like, that's Curtis right there. I'm like, see? I'm like, so it's just that essence of just being able to really show people what Atlanta is and knowing these spots would be there. So that it's a sense of community. And I think we're losing that essence of the in-person real life. That's it, whether it's an establishment, whether it's, hey, you go to your local park. Like, we rarely even have hood days anymore. Like, so I know some people still do, but they're not as prominent as they used to be. And I think even that is just like, what are we doing? Like, we're losing it.
Yeah, so, because, I mean, you know, hood days used to be calm, too. Like, that shit used to just be a vibe.
Love.
I mean, somebody might get to fighting out there, but that's really where it stopped. Like,
yeah, that's it. You know, that's right.
You get your ass whooped at a hood day, but that's where it stopped. You know
what's crazy? I was actually, you posted an event at a park. I forgot the organization. You were out of town, but it was like a revolutionary. So like it was like maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah. Man, sometimes people send me flyers, and if I can't go, I'll just promote it.
Yeah, and the park it was at, it was because I feel like it was on the south side, like South Atlanta. I don't know if it was Silver Road, but it was a hood. It was like Silver. They was on the mic while we was having the meeting. They was on the mic like Silver Road Day, or it was one South. But I'm just like, it wasn't that many people, and I'm like, I know 10 years ago this probably would have been.
Yeah,
15 years ago, like this park would have been packed, but it was only like 50 people, and I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, I know a decade ago, this would have been a whole different story.
Right. I think that's the pro and con of like social media or just having an online presence at all. It's like a lot of people won't do it if it's not popping online first. Like they won't go if they don't see a lot of interest online, or if the person promoted don't got a lot of followers, or like whatever the case may be. Because we putting together a block party, just kind of like, just to have some fun really, and to kind of bring some certain brands together, like me, that Every Nigga Deserves, my homie Nate, Be Right, Fonny, just like people that have like some staple in the city, but like piggyback off of one music fest, so it's not all about the corporate shit. And my uncle works with Bonfire ATL.
That's my guys over there.
Yeah,
okay.
so like my uncle Preach, he worked over there at Bonfire ATL, and I was like, well, instead of doing a block party, why don't we just like collaborate with Bonfire and just make it a big thing where we can have like vendors, food vendors. For the most part, a party is food and liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people gonna care the most about. So if we're gonna be outdoors, especially around that time where it's like a nice little vibe, like the weather is just right.
Yeah.
Georgia in October is like perfect. You know what I'm saying?
That's my bag.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You go hoodie, you can go crew neck, you might get away with a short sleeve shirt. About 10 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? That wind start hitting. That wind start cutting, you're gonna wish you brought a hoodie. But with the bonfire being there and everything like that, and it's just like bonfire is like cultural staple in the city. And so I want to always like kind of point to things that's culturally significant so they can be maintained. Yes. Because you know what like skip day is, right?
I do.
That skip day where they do the skip day, that shit used to be a junkyard, bro.
Come on, man. Come on.
and now like your uncle and your auntie in there dancing and getting drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I was out there with the old heads like a few weeks ago. That joint was a vibe.
Ain't no wrong.
You know, old heads know how to party. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna give you a drink. You know what I'm saying? But I think just preserving certain things that's culturally significant and doing more work in Douglasville where we from. You know, my granny and my mama, like my mama from Atlanta, went to West Fulton, all that. But my granny moved here from like Thomaston, Georgia, went to New Jersey, didn't like it up north, came back down here, moved to Atlanta, had my mama, and then stayed here until the day she died. So the city is like it played a big part of me like familiarly, but like Douglasville, it's like, bruh, I had my first fight out here. I got, you know what I'm saying? I got some cutty out there, you know what I'm saying? All that shit matter. That's where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? So I think the initiative that you're talking about like strong community is like picking up trash. Like that's a simple thing that can make a tremendous difference. 100%. You know what I mean? And you can get kids involved in that, and you could do that even if it was like just once a month. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it being a thing where it's just something you do when you on probation.
Exactly. And that's why it's things like that like I always do the value of keeping a community clean. But as you get older, you just look around and you just like a community that truly respects itself does stuff like that. And that's what I'm talking about. Like as I'm running for politics and public office, there's still a aspect of self-accountability. Like, yes, the city picks up your trash. Yes, they'll pick up your what's it called? Your not bundle, but when you got oversized stuff. I forgot the name of it. But but you getting out and cleaning your neighborhood, that just sends a sign to the rest of the country and the world that like, no, we take care of ourselves. And that was that you don't need any legislation to tell you how to take care of yourself. Right. So I also try to promote and advocate for that as well. Like, I want to serve you in the best way as possible, but I get up and clean my neighborhood too. I got an adopted spot right in front of Greenbrier Mall that I'm committed. If I don't clean up, the minimum is 4 times a year, but I'll lose it. Like, but that's me holding myself accountable. Like, if it's gonna have my name, it says Stephen Dingle and the Dingle family, then I don't deserve it. If I'm not keeping the area clean, take it away.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's something. And that's things that do whether I win or lose. That's gonna be there. Like, I'm holding myself accountable regardless. So I definitely agree with even small things like that. It definitely says a lot about you and your community.
Yeah, I think more than anything too, there's a self-governance that can happen where when you are overly reliant on the government to do for you, then you also are susceptible for when they decide not to do anything.
Correct.
But if you do for self, it creates a culture of like, also too, it sends a message to the politicians and the local government, like these people don't play about their shit.
Right.
So if we do anything backhanded, like if we try to put a street through their neighborhood, like they're gonna be out here protesting, they're not gonna play with that.
Yep.
If we try to rename their block other than something that they wanted to be, or put a business there that they don't see fit for their neighborhood, we're gonna have to hear from them. And I think that comes with a power of community. I think sometimes we get caught up in our day-to-day where like we have put community on the back burner and are very like individualistic. And that's a symptom of capitalism too, but it's also like a thing of like the digital world. It's like you always on go or you always distracted with something. So you don't even know who live around you. Nor do you feel the need because you got a camera on the back door, a camera on the front door, a camera on the ring. You got cameras in their glasses. They feel like they know the neighborhood from a digital and a safe space, but they don't get out and talk to their neighbors anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when I first moved to my neighborhood, I reached out. I talked to like the immediate people in my cul-de-sac, but then I would go for these walks. And like a lot of times my son would go with me. So like his friends, we seeing them in front of their house. And then that's how I'm meeting the other parents in the neighborhood. So it's like, I'm comfortable with my son just be like, I'm going outside. Cause I know he know all these folks that's around and I know him too. And we had like, it was funny cause election season came up and my next door neighbor, she was like a Trumper, you know what I'm saying? And she had put her sign out there and shit. I was like, man, what you on? Like, ain't nobody else in the neighborhood even got no sign out. So my granny came through, like, and my granny, she was like, I got the big Kamala sign in my trunk. She put that shit in my front yard. She was like, she said she got the little Trump sign. We got the big Kamala sign.
Oh, man.
And I was like, man, now we gang banging over here. You know what I'm saying? But I think just, even it's something as simple as getting out and walking through your neighborhood to know what it looked like, who lived there. You know what I'm saying? Because you could tell even a lot about what's going on inside a home from how it look on the outside. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. That's important. You know what I'm saying? You got to do some little investigation.
Yeah.
These folk might be doing drugs in there, man.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I live next door to my HOA lady. So like, ain't no, you can't slip. Yeah, she cool. But I'm saying, because I ain't gonna lie, because it's somebody else between us. But I don't know what happened to them, but their house was not well kept, but somebody already came in, switched the rule. I'm thinking they got kicked out. But but they definitely was. I don't know if it was fines or they lost it, but the way that house looked, it was, ugh.
How you feel about that HOA stuff?
Ours ain't really strict. Of course, we pay a little bit, but I mean, like I said, running for public office, I get and I understand it. It's trying to hold people accountable for that self-governance. I know it's a governance, but it's trying to say we can take care of ourselves. If we need to put something in, whether, when you pay your fees, this is what it gets for us. When you attend these meetings and you listen, you see the purpose of it. You just hope like you don't have somebody who thinks they're a tyrant. That's the only thing that I see. But I definitely see the benefit, especially, I'm saying, walking through my neighborhood is nice, don't get me wrong, but the neighborhoods on Camp Creek, that's part of my district that I went to, like, they got their neighborhood stuff in the pool, like the initials of the neighborhood in the pool.
Okay.
They got their own garbage system, like trucks with the neighborhood symbol that their HOA fees pay for. I'm like, it get you all this? I know they probably like, gladly will pay our fees because you see it. You see where it goes. Like their clubhouse is a house. Like it look better than the houses do.
Yeah.
So you see it, but it goes back to that self-governance thing. You just understand, like, okay, I get the point of this. And that's just how I feel. I don't have that sentiments that a lot of people have when it's like, I can't stand it. But I will understand if the services weren't living up to it. If you were paying a fee and your playground looks terrible and your pool is nasty and you're not seeing it, I would be upset. But like, ours is like, we just changed our like we had a brick, or no, it was wood fence outside the neighborhood, but it was getting depleted. We just put metal up there, like you see where your money's going. And they told us like, look, this is a $15,000-$20,000 job, so after we do this, it's gonna take a while to get our money back. But the whole community met. They said, look, it's looking dilapidated. Let's do it. So it was a democratic decision. They like say, hey, we know it's gonna empty our bank account, but we accept it. So I was like, cool. Like we all made the decision.
Yeah,
together.
made the neighborhood look good.
Yeah, so
because property value is a big part of that.
That's the thing too. Exactly.
We was talking. So All right, I'm gonna pitch something to you now.
Go talk to me.
You District 11, you feel me? Now you know we're big trade advocates.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? When you do get elected, let me and Big Ice Cup come talk to them high schoolers about getting into the trades because
that's easy.
we just laid out a trade
middle
plan.
schools too.
Yeah, middle schools
yeah,
too. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts at 18.
Yeah.
But there are courses you could take as early as 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
They can kind of get you prepped for it. And we had laid out a plan. We had set it on our Patreon, but I thought it was like big enough where I was like, I need to put this on social media.
I saw
the
your
trade
TikTok
plan?
episode. Yeah, the trade plan.
Man, they rocking with it.
Yeah, I love it.
And then it's also like a lot of people are telling their kids to do this, but somebody just DM'd me today and was like, I showed that video to my son. He showed it with his friends, and they like, bro, we finna do this. Cause they not hip. They don't know like you can get money in other ways besides just going straight to college. Yep. And I think there's a reasoning behind that. I don't know whatever the reason is. It could be racial. It could be a union thing where they want to keep shit hush hush. But things is inside
perception. The perception of like they think going to college and becoming a lawyer, doctor, whatever, accountant, they just think that being a plumber, electrician is not as sexy. Like the perception of it is only people who do those jobs are people who tried and didn't make it and they failed. So it's like instead of like, no, I'm working towards something.
It look a plan B type.
It look like a plan B. That's the perception.
This should be plan A, man. That blue collar work gonna get you that money.
Man.
And two, think about it, right? Plumbing is always gonna be essential.
Always.
If they got houses, they gonna need plumbing.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, when somebody move into a new home, the biggest issue they have is with plumbing, especially depending on how long the house has been sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, with the plumbing systems, they go directly into tree root systems, and a lot of times those pipes get burst because of root systems and stuff like that. You need somebody to know what they're doing.
Yes.
You want to be that person they call, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing, electrical work, same thing, HVAC. As long as you got a house, these things are going to be needed, but same thing applies to a commercial spot, too. When people, they got to stay up to code. They need their electricity on code. They need their HVAC services and their plumbing services up to code.
Yep.
Or they can't open their business. So the way that it's so applicable across like many fields, both commercial and residential and private, versus public sectors too. Like if we in the city council building and we have plumbing issues,
we gonna call.
You need a plumber. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people understand how vast the opportunities is for it.
Correct.
The person that kind of got me hip to it was my partner. He was doing the fire hydrant services or the sprinkler services.
Okay.
So he would come in and like, depending on how big it is, it's like sprinkler versus like just like some like cloud that it just straight put like a cloud of shit down. If it's more industrial, like depending on what type of fire you can have in there. Most of it is electrical, or like just, you know, your residential fire that could be put out with a sprinkler. But some of them call for like special sprinkler systems and shit like that. He was installing all that. He was like, bro, I'm making so much money doing this shit. And he was like, I be busy. I got my own work van. You know what I'm saying? He was like, after like 60 days of him going through his training, he was out on the road by himself. He going to McDonald's. He going as far up as Dalton. And he like, bro, I'm out here, bro. He said, bro, I don't got to answer to nobody because I know what I'm doing. He's like, bro, this shit is the move, bro. You got to get into this shit. And he was like, bro, this is a trade. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. I was like, that's like truck driving, low key. He was like, exactly, bro. Like, you could just do that. And so I was driving forklifts at the time. And one of them Avery people pulled up. And I was like, bro, how you get into this? Like, how you get into truck driving? He was like, bro, this shit easy as hell to get into. And he's like, you gonna make 10 times more money making on that forklift. Sold me on it. Damn. And so I just been an advocate for it ever since, like, because that shit changed my life for real. If I wasn't in the truck, I wouldn't have been able to have the freedom to make them TikToks and
I was about
shit
to ask
like
you,
that.
did they know about you doing all that at the time, or it didn't matter? Like, you still get a job done?
So when I was over the road, it didn't matter at all because they send you everything through a tablet. So most of your work coming straight through the tablet and you just follow it like that. Or you got a dispatcher and you just talk to one dispatcher, right?
Right.
And they just be like, all right, after this, I'm finna send you all the information. Boom, 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 you just go there. So I'm going anywhere from like, I might go wake up in Buffalo, go to bed somewhere central Pennsylvania, from Central Pennsylvania, I might go to Texas. From Texas, I might go back to Georgia, Florida, back up to Pennsylvania. So it's like you on the road so much, you can't really have nobody holding your hand. If you don't know how to do your job, you just need to be out the truck.
Yeah.
So I had so much freedom. It's like, okay, I got to be to this place tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's 4 in the afternoon right here. It's an 8-hour drive. Shit, I'm gonna knock out like 6 hours of this shit. Wake up, start my day at 6 a.m., be there 2 hours early. Maybe they'll let me in that bitch. But in between that time, it's like, shit, do me a little video while when I park up, I'm doing the video because sometimes it could take 2 hours to get loaded.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could take 2 hours to unload. Sometimes even more. So you got all this time. It's like, shit, I ain't fucking with company time. I ain't got none of the logos on. Now, when I got local, by the time I got local, I was really popular on TikTok. Yeah. So, like, I had started my podcast, and them niggas was like, yeah, man, we fuck with you.
Gotcha, yeah.
I had started going viral and shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I just seen you, man. That shit hard, bro. Like, we fucking with you shit. I'm like, bro, be cool.
Yeah, relax.
This is the job. You know what I'm saying? And
what
then
Future say? This AI.
This is AI. This AI. When my supervisor, was like, we need to have a meeting. And they was like, yeah, we fuck with the podcast. Like, these are all black folks and shit too. So it was cool. They was like, man, we fuck with the podcast. Like, bro, you be talking some real shit. Stop wearing the vest.
Yeah. You can't take it off for 2 minutes.
Yeah, bro. Like, they was like, your video ain't nothing but 3 minutes long. Yeah. Like, just take the vest off, then put it back on, get to it. And then at my last gig, the one, it was my last job. You know what I'm saying? Nobody up there knew who I was. It was perfect. But then sometimes the drivers come through, they be like, boy, what the fuck? Boy, what the fuck? Y'all know who this is? Like, bro, chill, bro. Bro, hey. Bro, be all that. So it's like, I'm like, bro, chill. Like, I'm at work, my nigga. Like, I don't want these folk to know who I am. And then one of the forklift drivers found out, like, when he was like, bro, I be fucking with your, bro, I can't believe I work with you. Like, bro, you don't even need no job for real,
you know,
bro.
they always think it's way
you need
more
to do this
than it is.
shit. Like, I'm like, bro,
just quit. What you here for?
Bro,
like,
just quit your job,
quit.
bro. Like, you tripping. So I would say when I had started my Patreon, and I was able to have like a residual monthly income outside of just TikTok and YouTube, them three combined, I was like, okay, this handsome. I can make something shape with this, and then that'll open me up to opportunities where I can go do speaking engagements, take the merch a little bit more serious, but also like put my feet on the ground for real, because I'm doing all this shit from the truck and from the crib. Yeah. That shit changed my life, nigga. Like, that week that I met you, I had quit my job Tuesday.
Dang. That's crazy.
And they had tried me too. Like, they had tried the fuck out of me. Like, man, you know all these folk done quit. Like, we're gonna be really leaning on you.
Not knowing you had a big joke. You had a big joker sitting.
But what? Ha! I'm gonna run a Boston on these bitch ass niggas. Ha! Here come the ace.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Man, I was like, y'all ain't gonna be depending on me for shit.
You don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
yeah.
Hey.
Guess what? Y'all need somebody else to depend on, because it ain't me. Boy. And I was like, I had so much anxiety around that shit too, bro.
Yeah, I understand.
But you being in the music industry, you know, like,
that's how it was when I left college.
That shit is a gamble, bro.
Boy.
That shit is and it looked good. It looked good. Like, when you doing it and everybody showing you love, it look good. But you be like, damn, what if I quit the job and they be like, yeah, fuck that nigga. Bro, that was my biggest thing. Where I was like, damn, what if I quit the job and people like, oh, you quit your job? Fuck you.
Bro,
you ain't like us no more. Like,
we
damn,
talk about the old music industry. Look, we talk about the beer and tacos, folks. When we threw shows, when Earth Gang and G and them came back from college, and Black started making music, and we was throwing all these shows. Like I said, Beer and Tacos was doing their thing. Spoiled Milk was doing their thing. Everybody talk about, man, we need to bring, like, not necessarily those establishments back, but like the sense of like, new artists,
that
local
feeling.
artists, that feeling. We was like, we was losing money. Like, I know we wasn't making no money. Beer and Tacos, I know they was cool. I don't know they finance like that, but when we talk about the times, everybody just be like, yo, we need to bring it back. We need to do something like that again. We like, you don't understand that. Like, we did it for the culture. We ain't do it for our like to better our lives.
Sometimes the things you do for the culture ain't what you gonna do for the finances.
Yeah, now we got all of us got kids and wives. We would love to, but They gotta eat.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'm learning more like now about like that sponsorship game.
Yeah.
Like, hey, product placement and give me some money.
Yeah,
You
because
know
that
what I'm
allows you to do what you really want. Like, okay, like I ain't gotta worry about making bread this month because I'm good.
I'm
So
straight.
I support this anyway. This is
Let
what
me
I'm
get some
drinking
money.
anyway. This is what I'm wearing anyway. But now I can really do what I need to do because I ain't gotta worry about.
Yeah,
this,
because
so.
sound, audio, and like visuals is so fucking expensive, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And then don't run into somebody that think you get into it, like, and they want to do your sound and audio. Them niggas be like, well, it's $5,000 for 2 hours. Like, nigga, what?
Yeah.
Nigga, why?
You got it. You got.
Why?
I seen your subscribers 100,000.
Nah, you
on
popping, my nigga. You
100,000.
popping, like-
You got it.
I be like,
I did the math. Let me try to
Yeah.
add up your views and
Bro, oh God, I be like, you fired. Because stop playing with nigga, bro. Like, be cool,
Pocket
bro.
watching.
Be reasonable, bro. Be reasonable. So let us know, you know, if there is a campaign. Are only people in your district allowed to donate to your campaign?
Oh no, my bad. I thought you were about to say vote, but no,
No, yeah, we know the voting
Yeah,
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
the only-
Then what we said, if you ain't living in District 11, go pitch a tent, District 11.
Come on, change
know,
that license.
change
That's all
your
it is.
license.
It's what that license say.
Man, go
Yeah,
join
yeah.
the Planet Fitness, be homeless for 6 months. It's all good. You're going to be straight. You're going to bounce back.
That's right. That's
Get in
right.
District 11 so we can vote Stephen Dingle.
That's right. You got until October 6th. Yeah, October 6th, you got to be registered to vote at that address on your license. But no, anybody in the United States can donate to the campaign.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let
no
us know.
No foreign money, no foreign interest. But yeah, anybody in the United States can donate to the
No
campaign.
shell companies.
Yeah, no shell companies, no APAC. Yeah, we ain't on. Well, APAC is, they say they demand, we know what's up with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
My fault,
Start talking about APAC. Fuck around and can't access my YouTube page no more. Like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Why I can't get in my shit? I remember
Oh, my
when I
God.
first got into the Spotify partner program, the first ad they ran was an APAC ad.
What?
I said, oh, these niggas is hell.
Oh, Spotify.
Yeah.
They came with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
as long as it's United States
So
domestic.
how
anybody.
can we donate to your campaign? Give us like spell it out for us.
Yeah, well, the website it's the Act Blue account. Everybody, that's the secure political account. It's in all my bios. It's long, but if you just actblue.com/Stephen Dingle, it should come up. Or go to my website at Dingle. Dingle4Atlanta.com. Everything spelled correctly. Dingle4Atlanta.com.
Dingle4Atlanta.com.
Yeah,
Hell
will be
yeah.
there as
Dingle
well.
4.
No, just spelled out.
Okay.
But yeah, I like that though because it is on phone.
It's
Yeah, I
on
like
phone.
that.
I thought you-
I did
yeah,
like
that-
that, but yeah, I just kept it. Yeah, just simple spell it out. But
Dingle
yeah, that's
for
it.
Atlanta, nigga.
Yeah, Swats is the phone.
Yeah, nigga.
100%. So yeah, please, donations is what carries the campaign. That allows me to get materials and spread it to all the voters and get them, everybody's up to date and acknowledged about what we're doing and what I stand for sure.
And the deadline for voting is
No, well, the deadline to be registered is October 6th. So you
Okay.
gotta make sure everything good to go. So when you go to the polls on October 14th through the 31st, that's early voting. Election day is November 4th. But if you want to early vote, your vote counts just as much as it would be if you voted on November 4th. So I see you got 2 weeks. You ain't got to take off work, do none of that. Just go ahead and get down that early vote now. But election day is November 4th.
also that's a real good excuse to get off work early, man.
Hey,
You come in at 8, you leave at 10, you tell them I'm finna go vote. You know what I'm saying? That's your
and
duty.
you may
It's
still
your-
get election day off. So it's smart to say, hey, I need a day off to go early vote. They may let you off on November 4th anyway. So,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's your civic duty. You know what I'm saying? So Dingle for Atlanta. Stephen, what's your social media handle?
everything's Dingle for Atlanta.
Dingle
so,
for
yeah,
Atlanta.
It's Instagram. Twitter is Dingle, or X, excuse me, it's Dingle for ATL because it's too long.
Yeah.
But everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Dingle for Atlanta.
Man, bro, thank you, bro.
No, I appreciate you. I love everything you're doing, brother. Yes, sir. Like,
Thank you, man.
I want to be clear. Like, we all black. We all don't have the same view of how to be liberated, of how to see success, of how to accomplish our goals. But if we all just work together, bro, I want to see us do well. You want to see us do well. So I just want to be clear. When it comes to collaboration or whatever, I want to work with any. If you black, like, let's work. Let's figure it out. Like, none of us are bigger than the program. The program is liberation and for us to take care of ourselves. Like, that is the end
Absolutely.
result. So I just
That's
want to
the
be
end
clear
goal.
about I want to work with anybody who wants to see us do well.
Let's
I'm
do
with
it.
it. Let's do it.
Hey, you know
Politics
what?
or not.
My uncle, he did put me on some game the other day. Now we don't agree with a lot. We don't agree about a lot of shit, because he's very a lot of his thought process is led by religion. So sometimes, you know what I'm saying, he way over here and I'm over here. We just try to find a place to meet in the middle. One thing he did say, he said, instead of trying to create a community of people that's diverse in race, we need a black community of people who are diverse in thought.
I agree.
So this was episode 80 something. You know what I'm saying? Grits and Eggs podcast. My boy Big Ice Cup ain't here. He at home on the ones and twos. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure that out so we can get New Music Monday popping. This is Stephen Dingle. Vote Stephen Dingle if you live in District in Atlanta. Dingle for Atlanta website and on all social media platforms. Until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of each other.
Yeah. Woke up in the morning and to God be the glory. Thankful for another day to tell my story. Put my opinions in the universe and let them orbit. I'm from the